One.
Hey, welcome to Bollox Talks and Tangents. Hey, I almost called you Derek. All right, we're Bollox Talks and Tangents. It's Thursday, and that means it's 6:34, and we're just getting started. And I got my partner here, Lenny, with me. Lenny, not from Ireland.
No.
But from Long Beach.
A lot of Irish people live in Long Beach, I promise you that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a big Irish Day Parade. One of the biggest events in the city of Long Beach, by the way.
Okay. You know the oldest St. Patrick's Day Parade. You know where it's located?
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, that's
There
right.
you go.
That's right. All right, so we got a real exciting show. A lot of fun. A lot of research went into this show, and some of it's just personal stuff, so we didn't do any research on that.
Some really good memories coming out. Yeah, some good memories.
Fun stories.
Yep.
I'm sure you have some amazing stories. I mean, I want to hear about the stories from your concerts with like.
We got how much time do we have?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the Monkees are on the list.
I'm a believer.
Well, you didn't catch Last Train. All right, but first thing we got to tell you about our amazing sponsors. Our amazing sponsors this week and pretty much every week. City Gates Distillery and St. Augustine Distillery. This week it's not the whiskey of the week,
right.
But we're doing a Maker's 46.
It's tasty.
Very tasty bourbon, but the best place in town to see a great tasting tour is at City Gate Distilleries and St. Augustine Distilleries. They've won best tour of a distillery in the entire U.S. St. Augustine Distillery. All right, Chesire Collision and Customs.
Got it right.
Yeah. Well, unless Blake changes it again on me.
Yeah.
So
we'll call him and ask him to change the name properly to us.
But these guys, if you have some body work that needs to be done, if you have any type of work, you want to upgrade the paint job, you want to just jazz up, pimp your ride, these are the guys to go see. All right. Very busy this week. I don't think they're watching the show this week. Abare, Kresge and Associates.
I would think they're a little bit under the gun.
I guarantee you they're working right now, and they're doing taxes and saving people money.
Yeah, like they so probably say 95% of the work this week is just yours, and 5% everyone else's.
I did an extension, but they did take care of you this week, and they took care of my parents this week.
Thank you.
So, Billy, appreciate you taking care of them. I pushed mine off a little bit. Mine's not easy.
I'm done.
Mine's not easy. I wish.
I'm still using my accountant from New York because there's no state tax in Florida, so she just has to do a federal return. She has been a gift to me for years. She did my restaurants. She does our personal stuff. Couldn't be happier. Yeah. And I'm done.
If you do not use an accountant, then you are losing money. So, and these guys are the best in town, Abare, Kresge and Associates. All right, we're headed to this place after the show.
Oh, yes, sir, we are.
We got to say goodbye.
It's a command performance.
And a comeback.
Yeah.
Comeback tour and a goodbye tour all at the same, behind the same bar.
In and out,
Yeah, Rolly's going out on tour.
Again.
And Kaiser is coming back after many, many years of being behind that bar. From Kaiser's Deli, he's now coming back for. I don't know if it's a one-time only or if he's going to stop in a little bit more often.
I think he's a little itchy. He misses it. I mean, he loved what he did there. Did great for Meehan.
Made a lot of great friends there.
Absolutely, I see him coming into the deli every day.
Yeah,
I mean the man is a St. Augustine treasure. He really is.
Yeah, and from Maine.
And don't doubt he will let people know that.
And he's a maniac.
Yep.
So, all right, St. Augustine Pirate Museum. I'm making sure you're getting to go over there. I gave you some tickets to make sure you get over there to see it. They have over 800 artifacts, original artifacts. The Kresge family brought this museum up from Key West. It was a museum off the main Duval Street down there, and they're like, you know what? We got a great spot. They renovated what used to be the old Christmas shop, and just an amazing job there. Also, River and Fort, talk about a facelift. All right.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I watched that one get built out, too. My goodness.
These guys did not hold back at all. And
stunning.
They put an amazing product together. No place better to have a drink with a view.
Ooh, 360. Absolute 360 view. The fort, the cathedral, Flagler, the river, everything.
Food is phenomenal. Great people. I'm excited about their new product that they're building, the Italian restaurant that they're building next to Harry's.
Where the drive-thru is. And,
so they did such an amazing job with River and Ford. I can't wait to see what they're going to put in there. Super excited about that. All right. If you want to learn how to play golf, the best place in this area is Palm Valley Golf Course. It has the best driving range. It's a 9-hole executive course. No carts. You walk it. You walk it.
You get your steps in.
You get your steps in. You do it twice. You get in your 18 holes. Wonderful family. Bennett and the family, Chris and his family have owned it since the 80s. Just a local course, great people there. And they have the new tracer system where you can pretty much play any course on this tracer system. And you don't hit it into a net here. You hit it out into the driving range. So it gives you a full golf experience with that. So go check them out, Palm Valley Golf Course. And like I said, it's the most affordable in this area.
As long as it finds, if that tracer can find my ball in the woods, I'm a happy boy.
Yeah, well, it finds it on the computer. It just makes up stuff for you. It makes you feel better.
Oh, good. I like it already. My score got better.
You don't even have to walk. You can have a drink, sit down. It's like a fancy bowling alley.
Yeah, I got you with all the lights and whistles. Yeah.
All right. Word origins.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh,
all right.
And like I said, we already said Maker's 46 is our whiskey.
Yep, that's what we're drinking.
Word origins. What you got this week?
Well, I have two of them. I have a fairly simple one that people say a lot called, where does the phrase out of the woodwork come from?
Out of the woodwork.
And it's interesting because I got a couple of conflicting informations on this, and one of them, strangely, came from one of these new AI chatbots.
Okay.
Which was saying it came from the 19th century. I'm not sure of that, but everything was the entire conjecture was pretty accurate on everything, and is appropriate to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. You bang a door, you make noise, you open a cabinet, you're doing some construction, and all of a sudden, and the word was used quite frequently in the definition or explanation of this was vermin. So little bugs, little cockroaches, everything would come swarming out. Well, colloquially today, and it was interesting because there are 2 or 3 different applications of this as well, alluding to the fact that, it's unexpected. Something comes out of the woodwork, it's unexpected. Absolutely. And in droves, apparently. It
usually happens when they're reading a will. People come out of the woodwork.
Or when you win a lottery.
Yeah.
Your relatives that you did not know you even had come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
So that was that one. It's just a lot of people, a lot of things appearing unexpectedly in copious quantities when you weren't presuming that they were going to be there, and a lot of people that you didn't know you were related to.
Okay.
Quite possibly like Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. That's a conversation for another day we'll go into.
They're not related?
Apparently they may be brothers.
Wow.
We have to dig a little deeper on that, but not right now.
They're close friends.
Well, that's what I said. They did True they did True Detective together. They didn't know they were related then. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
maybe they're just spiritually related. Because the two of them are both pretty spiritual people. And I think they've probably been on that same trip at the same time. I don't think they're guys that are afraid to experiment.
Not in the least.
Yeah.
And I will say this, Woody Harrelson is one of the 2 or 3 people that I will say, when he finishes, people will look at his body of work and be amazed at what this man has done. Mm-hmm. He is a talented man, and his over of what he's worked on is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
From goofy stuff right up to serious stuff. And then there's a bunch of things. Cheers. He's done some film noir. He gets more True Detective. He's done some real interesting things.
Yeah.
And apparently he can jump for a white man.
Yeah. So, he did okay. Yeah. He's got some hoop skills.
Yeah. He gets off the ground higher than I do, but, that's it.
Yeah.
My second word origin.
So it came from the vermin, like when you cut the wood, like the bugs would scatter?
Yeah.
Is that what it meant?
Absolutely. Well, they would come flying out.
Okay.
And apparently in the vermin situation, it's a matter of a loud noise, a light, something disturbing their habitat. Yeah. In the human version, it's somebody accomplishes something and everybody wants a piece of that.
Yeah.
So they all come out of the work. As you said, reading of a will, you win a lottery. You win the lottery, don't tell too many people.
All right. So my first one is, and you might fall in this category.
Hi. Tall and short and handsome?
Yeah, close.
I don't do tall well, but short and handsome?
Well, it depends on what culture you're in. You could be tall in certain cultures.
That's true.
I mean, if you're hanging out with pygmies, you'd be fine.
Hey, if I was in Central America, I'd be as big as many Central Americans.
You'd be average.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm above average. I'm just not tall.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid of heights. That's the reason I stopped growing.
Okay.
But I outgrew my hair.
That's very true.
So,
well, wait a second. It just grew down instead of up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I outgrew it, so it had to go this way. Okay. All right, crazy like a fox. All right, so I wanted to find out what crazy like a fox came from, and it kind of came from a story in the mid-1940s. Okay, and it kind of became more popular. It was said before, but it was crazy like a fox, and it was. I didn't realize this, but in that time, a lot of fox. I don't know if it's foxes. Fox. I think it's just fox. I don't think it's foxes.
It's not foxes?
I don't know. Somebody in the comments will tell us. But a lot of fox were having trouble with rabies. Kind of like we think of like raccoons and them having trouble with rabies. But the fox were very clever animals. So, and when the fox evidently would become very more aggressive when they had rabies with the animals and the stuff like that. I think it's more under control now, but it actually came out of a farmer's story in like 1944. And, he's just crazy like a fox. And it came from a farmer who was basically saying, it was tough to catch the fox because he's crazy like a fox.
The rabbit, was he a little frothy, the rabbit fox?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I stay away from rabid animals. Don't want them. And apparently the rabies shots are not comfortable if you have to get 12 or 14
right in the
of them.
stomach or something. I don't think they do that anymore.
No,
but I think it's still a good idea to stay away from rabid animals.
Yeah. Any animal that's frothing at the mouth, have a nice day.
I mean, in your time, when you think of a rabid animal, do you instantly go to Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah, no. Okay.
I just where he had to shoot
the
dog.
Yep.
So that I instantly go there from my when I was younger, and To Kill a Mockingbird's where I go. Okay. For some reason, that's my association with the rabbit animal.
Well, it's because it was descriptive.
Yeah.
And so it was a memorable part of the book.
Yep. Okay. All right. What's your second one?
My second one is the bee's knees.
The bee's knees.
Okay. And there's 3 different iterations of this, and they're all kind of similar. But the bee's knees. The simple one is it was a bastardization of the word business, and I thought about that for a little while because it was so the bee's knees, business, and now I'm thinking nowadays people do business, so that kind of makes a little bit of sense. But there's a couple others, and one of them was apparently that bees, bumblebees, and cultivating bees have pouches on their knees where they store the pollen.
Oh, okay.
So it was literally the bee's knees, and the whole concept of bee's knees is something that's very good. It's excellent. It's
the best.
Exciting, absolutely top shelf. And so it was the goodness of the pollen in the bee's knees was that one. And the third one, and I think this one may make the most sense in all candor, is there was a woman whose name was Bee Jackson, and Bee Jackson was a dancer. And Bee Jackson wanted to be the best Charleston dancer in the country.
Flapper.
It was the 20s.
Yeah.
She went to Charleston. She tried to embroil Charleston in her vision, and they really didn't want a whole lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But she did. She went there, and she went back and forth between the fact that this was a dance that was brought over with the people that came from Africa and ended up in Charleston. Yep. Well, that's it. Exactly. So that's what I'm thinking. And she became quite notorious. And that's a word that we put a pejorative to, but notorious is just being notoriety. It's not necessarily a good or a bad term.
Now it's a rapper.
Well, well, I'll tell you a funny story later. But so she was trying to get this whole thing going where she was going to be the best Charleston dancer in the country. She wanted to bring the Charleston to everybody. She spent a lot of time in Charleston trying to get them to sponsor her, to agree for that.
Yeah, to call her like Miss Charleston or something.
That's it. And and that dance move in the Charleston is your knees going back and forth. Yeah. So I'm thinking that's as big as anything else. When she was doing the Charleston, and so you have something that's excellent, and it's always something that's excellent. But I think Bee Jackson and her knees were as valid as the pouches on the bees collecting the pollen.
Okay.
So that's why I went with that one. And apparently there's a whole series of terms that involve animals in phrases like this.
Well, see, then you got weeks of information.
That's exactly. I'm saving them. I'm saving them. I'm getting ready. There's a list.
Don't stick them in the bee's knees.
No, not at all. Nope. And they may come out of the woodwork later, though they very well may.
They could come out of the woodwork. You're crazy like a fox. All right. And you set me up so easily because that was like a can of corn right there. All right, so my next one is a can of corn. Yeah. And I have a baseball background.
I do.
And a can of corn is a simple fly ball in baseball, but it's now become something simple. Oh, yeah, I can do that. It's a can of corn.
Right.
All right. Do you have any idea where it came from?
I do not.
All right. Blake, as a baseball guy, Blake's kind of a baseball guy. You have any idea where it came from?
I definitely know it has to come from... So know like where it came from in terms of baseball. I think it was like the Yankees like radio announcer that started the phrase in baseball, but I'm not sure where it comes from to begin with.
It goes older than that. And it goes back to the old when baseball was pretty much the only sport. So it goes back into the late 1800s.
Okay.
All right. And it goes back to shopkeepers would have shelves that were just sitting on planks, and they would take a broomstick and hit the shelf and knock the can of corn off, and then they'd catch it in their apron.
Okay.
So it became an easy catch from that moment.
Okay.
So, and it's like catching a can of corn.
See? I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I learn things on this show. I'm just saying, I learn things on this show.
Yeah, so I mean, that's exactly where the can of corn came from. It came from the shopkeepers literally either knocking it off with the broomstick because you didn't have a whole lot of space, and just catching it in your apron.
Okay,
there you go.
That works.
Yeah, so it's that simple.
It really is.
All right, our two topics are, and I'm going to let you pick which one you want to start with first: concerts or Hall of Fames.
No, I'm ambivalent, but we can start with concerts.
I can tell you this. I have more fun stories on the concert side.
So you want to get Hall of Fames out of the way and save concerts for later?
No,
or you don't want to run out of time?
No, we'll brush against the Hall of Fame stuff, I'm sure.
Fair enough.
Blake's going to keep us on task, and we'll still overrun on the concerts, is what I believe. And I wrote down 4 things for concerts.
Okay.
Okay. First was your first concert, best concert, worst concert, and concert story. All right. So I think we got to start with first concert, and then I'm going to let you pick the next topic. So your first concert of all time, do you know what it was? Do you want me to go first? Because you look like you're
Go ahead. I'm just trying to put it in chronological order. It could have been the Good Rats in Central Federal Savings and Loan in 1975 when my high school band was doing an exchange with a high school band outside of Syracuse from DeWitt, New York, outside of Syracuse. I believe it was DeWitt. And one of the players in our band's father owned the bank. His family owned the bank.
Gotcha.
And we had a concert in that lobby for our band and our guests that came to Long Beach. And the band was the Good Rats.
The Good Rats.
Which is a band, if you don't know them, they are an excellent band. Their members have passed on, sadly. But they were a very good band and underappreciated, but some great music.
Mm-hmm. Well, my band wasn't that good.
Okay.
And I saw them at the Daytona High Life Fronton. Have you ever been to a High Life Fronton?
I have.
Okay.
I actually have, frequently.
So the Daytona High Life, it does not exist anymore. Right. It is, Blake, you'll know where this is. It's kind of where Daytona 1 is now. It's where you park when you go. It was in that location. And that's where the High Life Fronton was.
Cool.
And it was an amazing group. They had their own variety show. Do 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 do. Good night. Sha-na-na.
A lot of gold lame.
Yeah.
A lot of gold lame.
Bowser.
Yeah. Whose voice came from his ankles.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was like 1979. I think it was like 12 years old. 1979. And I saw Sha-na-na at the Daytona. That was my very first concert that I know. And, because I grew up in DeLand and Daytona was like the spot to go, I went to a lot of concerts at the band shell there.
Okay.
So I got to see a lot of different things at the bandshell. But the first concert that I truly went, I know it was a ticketed event. Because you go to the bandshell, you just kind of walk up from the beach.
Right.
So I don't know if I consider those concerts,
Okay.
but you know what I mean? But one that I knew I had a ticket for was Sha Na Na. So, all right, you get to pick. Best, worst, or give me your best concert story. Doesn't necessarily have to be your...
I don't know if I have a whole lot of worst concerts that I could put my finger on because, most concerts are fun and,
My worst is easy. I can tell you this. It was at the St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Ooh,
and I
shame.
usually love everything that said St. Augustine Amphitheater. Rick Springfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Third song, he's singing a Katy Perry song. I think he sang Jesse's Girl twice.
Ooh, not a lot of material for poor Ricky.
I can tell you, I was, what was it, Dr. Noah Drake?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, should have stayed being
Stayed on
Dr.
TV,
Noah
yeah,
Drake. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you say that, and it has no bearing on the amphitheater, but I have to say, one of the most magnificent things about St. Augustine is that St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Yes.
Since we've been here, I write down a list. We must have seen 50 concerts. We've been here 8 years, and I'm not being exaggerating here. I mean, we go to 8, 9, 10 concerts a year.
Yeah.
And they're fabulous. The seats are great. I'm a friend of the amphitheater.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll be Amp Choice when I win a lottery and can spend good money and get my own parking space.
You want to be one of the big boys?
Well, I wouldn't mind having my own parking space, but otherwise I'm just quite content.
Well, if I need a concert buddy, I'll invite you to the Amp Choice world.
Please do anytime.
Yeah, and I talk to Gabe, probably 2 or 3 times a week, and just a wonderful, the general manager over there, Gabe Pellis here, and he started working for me when he was 15 years old, and he has done. I'm so proud of him. He's a beautiful father, husband, and great family guy, which makes me the most proud of him. But what he's done at the amphitheater is just amazing. Like the weekend we have on May 13th, 14th, and 15th, I can't even. I left 11 years ago, from the amphitheater. I couldn't even imagine having a weekend like what he's got scheduled that weekend.
Is that when Pitbull's coming to town?
He has Alison Krauss with Robert Plant on Friday night. Mm-hmm. He has Tenacious D, who I absolutely love.
Jack Black.
I absolutely love. And then he's got Pitbull all in the same weekend.
How amazing is that?
He's got JJ Gray, which was our very first concert here at the amphitheater in 2007. It was Labor Day weekend, 2007. J.J. Gray did the Blackwater Soul Review. That was our very first
and he's still doing
concert. That. Yeah. That's what he's doing this weekend there.
I saw him last year.
And Billy Strings next weekend.
I got tickets.
Phenomenal. I'm going to be there Saturday night.
So I'm going to be there Thursday. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday night.
And what I find fascinating, now they're what? Correct me, 5,500 seats now?
A little less than that, about 5,000. I think it's a little under 5,000.
It 5, is. There's an organization called Polestar that checks attendance.
Yeah.
And according to them, the St. Augustine Amphitheater is the 3rd busiest outdoor amphitheater in the world.
Actually, at one point we were number 1.
Yeah.
We were number 1. And Polestar, I would have to go to L.A. and that's what I went to in L.A. when I disappear. When you were a younger man, I'd go to the Polestar Awards.
Okay.
And we always lost to the Greek Theater.
Not even the Hollywood Bowl, the Greek Theater.
Yeah, the Greek Theater. We're ahead of the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the only 2 we're behind are the Greek and Red Rocks.
And I think internationally there may be one place in Australia and one place in Greece.
No. There was no competition outside the country with us at that time.
No. Now I think there may be one place in Australia and strangely one place in Greece.
Yeah.
Which is confusing when the Greek Theater isn't in Greece.
No, it's in LA.
Right.
So because there's 2 Greek theaters. I think there's one in San Diego too. So there's another Greek theater.
One in LA.
There's another Greek theater, but the one we lose the award to is usually the Greek, because Red Rocks. It is called the Red Rocks Award for amphitheaters.
Oh, okay.
Because they won it so many times, they're exempt from winning the award.
Well, they have a little natural beauty going on in their favor. Let's just say.
But I can tell you, their seats suck.
Yeah, well, it's a little hard on the butt.
Oh, it's bleachers. It's bleachers.
Well, by that same token,
but also that to be fair though, But you're probably high out of your mind with edibles, so you probably didn't notice the seats.
That's my concert story. Blake took me. We're going straight to concert stories.
Right into it.
Blake took me right to a concert story. So I was really excited about going to this concert, and it was really my first experience to being in Colorado and having some edibles.
Okay.
And I misjudged. And when you have edibles, sometimes you misjudge.
It says wait 2 hours before you keep going.
Yeah, I misjudged. And the people I was with misjudged. And it was a concert. It was Tom Petty's last concert at Red Rocks. And his opening act was some slacker guy by the name of Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
You ever heard of him?
I've seen him.
Yeah.
I've seen him. Absolutely.
All right. So I can tell you this. I knew I was there. I knew there was a rain delay.
Okay.
All right. And the bleachers at Red Rocks are literally old baseball bleachers. They are bleachers. They're not seats.
Right.
Like you have a little square, and I'm a small guy. You are not as slender as me.
No.
The man beside me was 4 times your size.
Big boy.
Yeah. So I know I didn't stay in my seat. I had good seats, but I didn't stay in my seat, and I stood over to the side. And several times security would come by, and I would, see him coming and avoid him and then come back to the same spot. But I can tell you this. Great concert, what I remember of it.
Okay.
But I don't remember much. And it was that was my one and only time at Red Rocks. Have you ever been to Red Rocks?
I have not. It's on the list. I have not been there. I have a lot of friends who've been there. Haven't gotten there yet, strangely.
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah. Oh, it's stunning. I know that. I do.
And I think there was a group of like 8 or 10 of us that were there.
Okay. Yeah, safety in numbers in a situation like that. That I promise you. Somebody's always looking out for somebody else.
We got broken up. Yeah.
As long as you all ended up together when it was time to get home.
Well, we paired up enough to where we were safe.
Okay.
So
just need to have somebody know where you are.
But that was one of the concert stories where it was like I literally saw Tom Petty's last concert at Red Rocks, which is a story in itself.
Yeah.
And the opening act was Joe Walsh, which is, by the way, the only man I've ever really been starstruck by.
Really?
Because at Polestar, Joe was at one of the Polestar Awards, and Davey, who's at Taylor Swift tonight.
Right.
I met Taylor when she was like 17 years old. But
I think she made it to 30. She's like what? She's
like 31 now.
Good for her.
But
a lot of talent,
but
that young woman.
Joe Walsh, when I went to talk to him, I couldn't talk to him. It's the only person that's ever happened to me before, and I was just like, okay, and I just walked away. I couldn't get a sentence out. And here this guy's trying to sell me, because he wanted to come to our amphitheater.
Oof, that would have been a show, man. The man can play a guitar.
Yeah,
he can play guitar.
And absolutely incredible.
Very true. I saw him doing solo after the James Gang when he was on hiatus from the Eagles. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So give me a good concert story.
Good concert story. I'll give you a great concert story.
A memorable concert story.
Well, let's just see. There's this little band that called the Grateful Dead. They used to play a lot. They used to play, 320 days a year, maybe a little bit more than that occasionally. They got around a bit.
Yeah, I never heard of them.
And I was very fortunate because when I was in college, they would do a tour upstate New York and in the general vicinity, and we would go to 4 or 5 or 6 of those shows. We'd sell T-shirts, we'd sell posters, we'd pay our fare. Friend of mine would rent a bus, buy tickets, and then sell a ticket and a seat on the bus to get everybody there in one piece. We were going to Rochester, or Utica, Syracuse, and it was fascinating. But they played at Cornell the spring of my freshman year, 1977. They had a concert on Mother's Day, May 8th. Now, for the Deadheads out there, I don't have to tell them that it is perceptibly.
So, do you consider yourself a Deadhead?
100 concerts.
Okay.
I qualify.
You qualify. You're in triple digits.
I got the T-shirts. Okay. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe have a lightning bolt or two.
1 or 2.
Okay.
1 or 2.
Right.
Yeah.
How much tie-dye stain on your hands?
Well, you should look in my closet, and there's a whole bunch of it. That I promise you. And this was my first Grateful Dead concert, by the way. So that tells you how busy I've been since.
Since 79.
77.
77.
May 8th, 77.
Okay.
Now, best concerts are always subjective, but apparently the consensus is that the May 8th, 77 concert is the best overall Grateful Dead concert by many metrics. And a lot of it was because this woman, Betty Cantor Jackson, would do recordings of the Grateful Dead from the soundboard. And we're talking cassette days.
Yeah.
And it was called a Betty board. If you could get a copy of that tape, you were in good shape. She cleaned them up. She used equalization. They were pristine. There was no hiss. Or as a dear friend of mine would say, twiddly twang hiss. He was not a Grateful Dead fan by any stretch, so he would mock us and call it twiddly twang hiss. But you get this. And it was great. It was on college campus. It was spring weekend. It was between the end of classes and before finals. And it was a great way to end the semester. And we go into the concert, and it is 65 degrees. Now, this is upstate New York, so it's early May. It's Mother's Day. Gorgeous, beautiful day. T-shirts and shorts. We're all going in. Everybody's happy as can be. Believe me when I tell you. The concert was fabulous, and we all come out, and we walk into, and if you haven't been in an upstate New York after snow situation, you might not understand how magnificent it is. We walked out, 3 inches of snow on the ground. Went in, it was 60 degrees and sunny. 3 inches of snow on the ground when we came out.
You're wearing shorts.
Shorts and a T-shirt. And this was a Grateful Dead concert. So I will, let you follow that through to the fact that a lot of people were...
A lot of glaucoma medicine.
Confused, among other things. Yeah. It was a lot of better living through chemicals at the time.
Yeah.
Believe me when I tell you. But we came out, and it was still. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. You saw stars everywhere. There was a moon out, and it was comfortable. It wasn't like you were chilled and freezing. And there were 3 inches, 4 inches of snow on the ground. It was magnificent.
That's crazy.
Now, the coda to this story is the fact that this May 8th, 46 years after the original concert, Dead End Company. So it's the two surviving drummers, Billy Kreutzmann and... I'm getting old. I apologize. It'll come to me in a second. Bob Weir, a couple other people are playing in the band. Sorry, Mickey Hart. I feel so much better. Thank you, Mickey. I apologize. Have this band Dead.
You only saw them 100 times. I mean, why would you know their name?
Yeah, I know. Well,
why would you know their name?
Well, because when you got to the drum solos, it was a good time to go to the bathroom because they went on for a while. But the percussion that they do is outstanding. So there's a charity event at Cornell on May 8th, performed by Dead and Company, 4,800 people in Barton Hall, the same field house where the original concert was.
Yeah.
Tickets done by lottery. It's a fundraiser for Cornell 2023, which is a charity, and Music Cares, which is a music-wide industry organization that's a big philanthropic organization. Yeah. And what's wonderful about this is there's about 8 or 9 or 10 friends of mine, and I have tickets to this, and we're all going to converge on Ithaca on May 8th to see this concert. And it's an intimate concert, 4,800 people in the field house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, I've seen them 50,000 people, 60,000 people.
About the same size as the amp. So
yeah, in
awesome.
a giant field house. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. Yeah. So that was by far probably one of my best concert memories, walking in sunshine and shorts and walking out in snow.
That's pretty
And
wild.
the fact that we're going to have the same venue 46 years later to memorialize this event is just wonderful.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Very exciting.
And I'm not really into a whole lot of jam bands.
Okay.
I like to know when the song starts and ends.
Okay.
And I really never did with the Grateful Dead.
Well, they would into.
Yeah. They would just bleed into the next one, and then you're like, okay, is this the same song? It's a different song? I don't know. But like the Deadheads around you knew the difference.
Absolutely.
Like when I go to Widespread, I enjoy the concert. I enjoy the music. Yeah. I don't know any of the words.
Well, it's funny you say that because this is the third year we've seen Widespread Panic at the amphitheater. Great show. Sell the place out. I recognize there's a song "Water" wherever it gets sprayed with water.
Yeah.
Could not tell you the name of a song that they do.
Not one.
Love the band. Love the show. They are great.
I enjoyed the show.
Yep.
And I enjoy live music anyway. All right. So my best concert is it's a toss up. So I'm going to give you my best concert at the amphitheater.
Okay.
My best concert at the amphitheater, and I really didn't like this person a whole lot until I met him, and he did a concert there. And that's Kid Rock.
Really?
Kid Rock played every instrument on stage.
Oh, boy.
And, when I met him, he was super genuine, super nice dude. I know some of his political stuff's a little far out there and stuff.
He and Ted Nugent get along very well.
But I'm telling you right now, way more talented than I ever thought. Yeah. He went from rap to country to rock to gospel, back to country, back to gospel. I mean, just all over. His range was amazing. I'm telling you right now, it's the best concert I've seen at the amphitheater, and we've had some amazing concerts there.
Yes, sir. I've seen a lot of them. And the talent that comes through there is fascinating.
The other one, and I think Melissa already mentioned it in the comments. I saw Joshua Tree by U2.
Right.
And that concert was just, the entire album was just number one.
They didn't play the amphitheater, did they?
No, they didn't play the amphitheater. Okay. That was over in, it used to be called the Sombrero over in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
Which now is Raymond James, right. And it's been updated and stuff like that. But I can tell you, that concert blew me absolutely away. Scariest concert experience was I was second to the last seat at the Citrus Bowl.
Okay. Yep.
During the lightning storm for Billy Joel and Elton John.
Ooh, nice.
Scariest. Yeah. That's my scariest moment, where we literally couldn't go anywhere and we were sitting at the top of the stadium.
Hopefully not on aluminum bleachers.
Yes, on aluminum bleachers.
Ouch.
Yeah. It was a very, very frightening moment, but we got through it.
Jolting experience.
Yeah, we got through it. No one got hurt, but the Joshua Tree concert was amazing. The Rolling Stones concert in Jacksonville was great too.
So now let me ask you a question about that U2 concert. Did it become a sing-along?
It was all a sing-along.
Yeah.
It was, and I don't really necessarily like that.
No, because I saw them in Madison Square Garden, and it was the same thing. After a while, it was like, come on, I came to hear them, not you.
Yeah, no, and usually the person I'm beside is very tone deaf and the loudest person in the entire venue.
Yep. They're enjoying themselves, but it takes a little. You come to hear the band.
All right. Have you ever seen U2?
I have.
All right.
I have.
Last song they always sing. 40.
Okay.
The 40th Psalm. Everyone sings it walking out. See, and I love those type of traditions. Billy, if you go to Billy Joel.
Saw him when he broke the record at Madison Square Garden, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
When he took the concert to the next level and did the most number, which he's then broken every month since. But we were there. Julie and I were there the day he set the record for the most consecutive nights at Madison Square Garden, or the largest number of shows.
Last song he always sings.
Billy Joel. I'm old. I forget stuff.
It's 9:00 on a Saturday.
The regular crowd shuffles in.
Yeah.
That'll be us when we go to Meehan's
That's
later.
Exactly it.
Exactly.
We're going to be the regular crowd.
That's exactly right. Hopefully we won't be shuffling.
I've probably seen Billy Joel, I think, 8 times. So
I saw him at Ithaca College, and the
outside of the Grateful Dead, who have you seen the most, probably?
Strangely, Harry Chapin, the New Riders of the Purple Sage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Carlos Santana.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I only saw him once.
He played the amphitheater. I was thrilled. He delivered. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I've seen him at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. I've seen him at the Jones Beach Theater in Wanto, which is similar to the amphitheater.
And he can play a guitar okay.
He's not bad. Saw him do a residency in Las Vegas, and saw him at Radio City Music Hall. Julie got us tickets. She got me tickets as a gift. We sat in the second row, and by the second row, I mean we were sitting in the orchestra pit at Radio City Music Hall. The stage was here. Carlos was there. He was wearing blue suede slippers. That's how close we were.
Yeah.
Oh my! It's like
best guitarist in your mind. Best guitarist of all time.
Hard not to say Jerry Garcia, but I'm a big Carlos Santana fan.
Yeah.
I've seen Clapton.
Buddy Guy.
Saw him and his polka dots. Saw him a couple, 3 times myself.
Buddy Guy blew me away.
Yep.
Yeah. Buddy Guy absolutely blew me away.
Okay.
So
I did see B.B. King a couple times too.
I saw B.B. King.
Yeah.
So I got to see Lucille. I was sitting in the front row at Florida Theater with Lucille.
Saw him before he passed away up in New York, and it was great because he gets walked out on stage by a couple of guys, sits in a chair up front. He's got Lucille on his lap, and he plays a couple of licks. But just to hear him tell stories and flirt with the girls in the front row, my goodness, Mr. King was having a time.
I can tell you this: the night I saw him, they were having sound trouble at Florida Theater, and I've never had a problem at Florida Theater except for that night.
Yeah.
But he got so frustrated. He literally he doesn't walk a whole lot.
No.
but he walked off stage, yelled at somebody, and came back by himself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, talented man. Buddy guy, absolutely. Yeah. Overalls and polka dots. How can you go wrong?
Yeah. So, all right. Are we ready to move on? We got to talk about our sponsors.
We can.
You got another concert story?
I do, but we can move on.
Give me one more.
All right.
Give me one more.
This was very recent. This was the Jimmy Buffett concert at the ViStar Arena in December.
Okay.
Had been postponed 3 times because of COVID.
Got it.
It was still a health check concert.
Got it.
They were trying to control the crowd, 30 yards from the front door to have your vaccination card checked. Well, it kind of worked. It kind of didn't. Everybody that was in our group was there, and there were 8 of us in this group, and that's part of the point of this story. You get to the next level, and the guy who was doing the bag checks and the screening was so overwhelmed. He said, "Nah, you look good. Go ahead. You look good.
You look healthy."
Absolutely. Well, no, this was after the health check. This was to get screened so that we're not taking automatic weapons or Molotov cocktails in.
Yeah.
And the guy was just, "Nah, you look good. Go ahead. You look." Then you get into the next level where they're scanning your tickets. They had no control there. They were just, and it didn't matter because at that point in time, you've already gone through 2 levels of
you're already frustrated.
So, but you're also not trying to sneak in at that point in time because you already had to go through 2 places where they were checking tickets, and they just gave up. So we get in. There were 8 of us. My neighbor had gotten tickets for his brothers and his friends, and one of his brothers couldn't go, so he asked Julian and me to go, and we said, "Of course, Jimmy Buffett. I've seen him a bunch of times." So we go, and Ray had asked for 9 tickets, and there was something that got screwed up. So we only ended up with 8, but he was sore he paid for 9 tickets. Well, we go in, and we have nosebleed seats up in the 300s in the ViStar Arena, which isn't horrible because it's a small venue. But so we get to the top of the escalator, and for some bizarre reason, there's a velvet rope there. And a guy stops us at the top of the escalator, and I'm the person in front, and he goes, "How many people are in your party?" And I look behind me, and Ray's standing next to me, and he's going, maybe this has something to do, because he kept trying to get the 9th ticket, and he tried to get cash back for the 9th, and he figured and how he presumed that they knew that this was the man who was looking for a ticket was bizarre.
He
and
pre-gamed strong.
Right. The guy said, "How many?" And I said, "Well, there's 8 of us." And I watched the guy go a little bit pale when I say 8 people. He goes, "All right, hang on for 1 second." And he turns around and he goes, and there's a folding table stuck in the corner over there. He goes and he starts rummaging around, and he comes back and he hands me 8 tickets. He goes, "It's an early Christmas present. Go back out, take the elevator down, go." We end up getting house seats, 2nd row, just off of the stage in one of the club sections where there's a bar at the top. Seats were fabulous, and we went from nosebleeds up there, and I could see the row where our 8 seats were empty, and we had great seats, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Yeah.
The show didn't suck either.
Yeah, no, and Blake kind of grew up with me doing concerts and stuff like that, but we haven't asked Blake. Blake, what's your best concert?
It's been few concerts I've been to, so I'm just gonna say the best one I've been to is the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay. Black Eyed Peas were excellent. Okay. That was a good concert.
I've never seen them.
Yeah, that was a good concert. So,
but I will say I just love living in St. Augustine because the music at the venue and the Ponte Vedra Concert Hall keep me sane.
I can tell you right now, there's some big stuff coming this year. Big.
Makes my $75 to be a friend of the amphitheater worthwhile.
Big.
Gotta love them pre-sales.
Big stuff.
Okay.
So. All right. We got to talk about our sponsors. We're going to move on to our next topic. But our sponsors, Palm Valley Golf Course. I'm telling you right now, if you want to learn how to play golf, this is a place to learn. It's cost effective. You don't get yourself in a whole lot of trouble. It's the best driving range around. Go check them out. Palm Valley Golf Club. Wonderful people. River and Fort.
Great view.
You've eaten there, right?
I have.
Excellent food. Good people. 2 amazing bars, best rooftop bar in town. Go check them out. All right, St. Augustine Pirate Museum. You have not been there, but I can tell you right now, you got to go check it out. It's the most unique museum I think we have in town.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's one that like you go, I don't think, but when you get there, you're like, wow, they really did it right.
Just a quick thing on that. My brother-in-law has been in Orlando for 35, 40 years. He's been down there since forever. Since he left New York. And he comes to St. Augustine, and he said, "You know what? This is like a real-life Pirates of the Caribbean."
Yeah.
So to have the pirate museum here with original pirate regalia and artifacts from those pirates, who, by the way, made regular visits to St. Augustine for nefarious actions.
Yeah. No, and give yourself time, because you're not going to get through it all. and you're going to want to go back.
Cool.
I can tell you right now. Give yourself time. All right, Meehan's Irish Pub. 3 bars in one. They have Johnny's Oyster Bar up top. Yeah. They have the backyard out back where they just do an amazing job back there.
Sure, yeah.
Stay away from the fishbowl thing. Stay away from that. Stick with the Irish whiskeys.
They make their own Irish cream on a daily basis. Yeah. That is rich and delicious and it's just magic.
So yummy.
Well, a couple of calories, but yeah. Well, you're a skinny guy. I gotta watch.
Calories.
I gotta watch.
Calories. You walk there, you walk it off.
Well, yeah, it's a long walk for me to get back to the beach, but okay.
Yeah, well, you can do it.
Hitchhike?
There's no such thing as too far to walk.
That's true. Well said, the walking man.
All right. Abare, Kresge and Associates, best accountants in town. If you're doing your own taxes, they're due this week. If you're doing your own taxes, you're costing yourselves money. Give these guys a call. They will help you out. They will save you money. They'll get you in a much better situation. Abare, Kresge and Associates. Chesire Collision and Customs. These guys, they are a part of the community. They are there. Also, Chesire Towing. These guys do an incredible job in town. They own multiple businesses.
Customs and Collisions.
I think Blake just changes the name every week just to play with you.
He's just toying with my brain. All right, but go check them out. You want to get a paint job done? They have this amazing paint room. They go in and they bake your car. They have an oven for your own car. Yeah. It's incredible what they have over there. Yeah. Go check them out. All right, this next one, City Gates Distillery and St. Augustine Distillery. These guys know how to do it right. They do the best tastings in town. If you don't know exactly what you want to do, it's the best place to get a Father's Day gift or a Mother's Day gift. They have every liquor. This is the place to go check them out.
And the distillery itself, man, they haven't been here that long, and they have really become part of the community. And what a fabulous, fabulous job they do.
Yeah, incredible. All right, Hall of Fames.
Me or you?
You get to go first because what happened. I left my notes in the house.
I got you.
So you're going to have to carry me for the next 10 minutes.
I can do that. I'm strong like bull, dumb like ox.
Yeah.
It's interesting because
not arguing.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't. People, you and I both came up with this one, the National Toy Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we both had it on our list.
Yep. Started in 1998 in Salem, Oregon, and then moved to Rochester, New York, where it started out as the Strong National Museum of Play, and then they just cut it back to be brief, and now it's called the Strong, and it's in Rochester.
Yep.
And it's been there since 2002, and I wrote down the inaugural class.
Oh, okay.
The first group of toys they put in there, and then there's 2 interesting points that I have.
What year was that?
I guess 98.
So in 98, the inaugural class.
Okay, so you have Barbie.
All right.
Crayola crayons.
Barbara Millicent Roberts.
Thank you very much.
1959.
If I ever get that wrong again, I will be ashamed of myself.
Yep.
The Erector set, which I played with as a kid. Crayons, Crayola crayons we all used.
Yep.
Etch-a-Sketch.
Shake
it off. You can correct your mistakes. The Frisbee.
Okay. Whammo.
Hula hoop.
Whammo.
Legos. Ouch, if you step on the floor.
Yeah.
Lincoln Logs. I also had those as a child.
Yeah.
Marbles. That's your low-tech solution. That's your Monopoly. By the way, there is a St. Augustine version of Monopoly.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
My house was not on it.
Well, then just...
Neither was my street.
Shameful.
Yeah, I know.
Play-Doh.
Okay. A mistake.
How many child ate that as a kid?
Yeah.
The Radio Flyer wagon, the little red wagon, Radio Flyer.
Have one of those in the backyard?
This one's going to make you very happy, my friend. I know it will. Roller skates.
I was a roller skate guy.
I know that. Yeah. The teddy bear.
Okay.
The Viewmaster.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yep. The Viewmaster.
Can't see those.
And I was upset about
I don't have depth perception. I can't see through a Viewmaster.
Oh.
I'd have to close one eye. Binoculars, I have to close one eye.
Well, the Viewmaster wouldn't work because it was the two of them. It was almost like one of the stereo.
You could still see the one.
Yeah. And then I was very disappointed that this wouldn't make it, and it was the Duncan Yo-Yo. So that was the...
Didn't make it?
No, it did. I was going to say, because I was going down the list, I'm going, you got to have a yo-yo, and it was the last one they did.
Yeah.
What I find interesting
is... I used to be a yo-yo guy. I literally would have, like in the 90s, it was one of my therapy type things.
Okay.
Because what was the Yo-Man would come the Duncan Yo-Yo guy would come to sell yo-yos
and show you tricks
in schools, and you did the rock. And I became a yo-yo guy early on, and the yo-yo started as a weapon.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that's what the yo-yo was. It became
so
a
like
toy.
bolos?
No, they would actually throw it out with the string and hit people in the head with it, and it was a weapon.
Is that what David used to beat Goliath? I thought it was a slingshot and a rock.
It was a slingshot in that one.
Okay,
so
all right.
Might have been a yo-yo.
Yeah, good enough.
But I would have a yo-yo at my desk during the 90s, and I would be on the phone, which we had a cord and we were connected to the desk.
Right.
Before there was...
You weren't going far.
Yeah. But, the yo-yo. I love the yo-yo.
Well, two more things about the Toy Hall of Fame is, one, everybody kept nominating Light Bright. You put the pegs in and you could make pictures.
You burned the shit out of yourself.
It also took like 4 times before they got elected and nominated. They were nominated. It was like the... I can see her now from the soap operas who never kept winning. Erica
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, Susan Lucci.
Susan Lucci.
Right.
Yeah.
Light Bright was the Susan Lucci of the Toy Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But my favorite one is, what's in the Toy Hall of Fame?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yes.
Okay, that's mine. That would be the one I would have to have in there.
But a stick.
A stick.
A stick.
Now,
what's interesting about this, it was a stick because it opened the world to imagination.
Yes.
You know what the picture was for the stick? A dog carrying a stick in its mouth. I was a little bit of a disconnect, but a stick. So I got a real kick out of that one.
What are your 3, like if you said, and you know what's in there because you have your notes in front of you, but I want Lenny's personal 3 toys that he would have in.
Okay. Well, I found it interesting that later on it was the Green Army Men.
Okay.
And I played with them a lot as a kid.
That's yours.
That's one.
I want your 3. I don't care what's.
Yeah, no. The Green Army Men, because I remembered that when I did that. If I had to, there was a Man from U.N.C.L.E. kit when I was younger. And it was all these things. It looked like a transistor radio,
like a spy thing.
Yep, and you pushed a button, and a barrel came out, and a gun stock came out, and the whole thing, and this radio turned into a gun.
Yeah,
a little more aggressive than I need to be now at this point in life, or anybody. But that, and then I was a big G.I. Joe guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my action.
Blake, you okay?
I'm good, just science.
Okay, I'm stuffed up too. So
I just didn't know that it was a snurf or a commentary. I didn't know if it was commentary.
I didn't know if he didn't like your answer.
I was a little concerned there. But G.I. Joe, I had a lot of G.I. Joes, action figure. That was the action figure that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah, G.I. Joe, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and Stretch Armstrong.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, G.I. Joe. So sorry, Lenny. This was even mentioned G.I. Joe makes me allergic, I guess. So need to get that checked out.
All right, you know the difference why G.I. Joe was acceptable, why dads accepted G.I. Joe and not because he was an action figure, not a doll.
Right.
And you know what made him an action figure, not a doll?
That his arms could move?
No. Believe it or not, they did testing on him and stuff like that, and he was considered a doll because he came along like in 64, 65. And what they had to do is they added a scar. You know how G.I. Joe has a scar on him?
Yeah.
And when they added the scar, dads were like, oh, he's okay.
He's tough. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Tough guy.
Dads accepted him at that point. He was no longer a doll. He was an action figure.
Well, I will tell you that my first G.I. Joe did not have a scar.
Really? That means you had to be early 60s at that point because they added the scar like in 66.
I'm old. I was entry-level G.I. Joe.
I find that hard to believe. I bet you just didn't remember it.
It's possible. It's possible because I did. Well, I'll go back and look. But yeah. And if I only had him today.
If you had him today.
In the original box.
If you had him today in the original box, you know
what happened? My relatives would be coming out of the woodwork.
They would be coming out of the woodwork. And if you kept it in the box, you'd be crazy like a fox.
That's it. We work it all together here.
Yeah. All right. One of the most interesting ones that I found as far as Hall of Fames go is a Robot Hall of Fame.
I'm intrigued by this. I saw that. I didn't pursue it. Go.
And, when I heard Robot Hall of Fame, I was trying to figure out, okay, where might this be? I was thinking very techie areas. I was thinking Silicon Valley, that area and stuff like that. No. It's in Pittsburgh.
Everything's in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew Warhol.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
All right. So
Carnegie Mellon?
Carnegie.
Excuse me, Andrew.
Yeah, Carnegie. I can tell you right now, the group from Stone Cold would correct you because they are from
Boo!
Pittsburgh. They are from Pittsburgh,
Right.
and they would correct you.
Okay.
All right.
But I'm not.
But, robots, just list a couple of robots that you think might be involved in that.
Tobor the Ape Man. He was a cartoon.
Okay.
Gigantor.
Gigantor is in there.
Okay. I'm trying to think of robots that are real life robots.
Twiggy?
She was skinny. I didn't know she was a robot.
No, that's the wrong Twiggy.
Oh, okay.
It was Twiggy from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Right, okay. And what about R2D2? Come on, you got to do R2D2 and C3PO.
He's their spokesperson, R2D2.
Okay.
So, but I did not expect it to be in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So that was
Isaac Asimov in there?
Huh?
I
didn't see that one.
I mean, wasn't he the man who created the law of robotics?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming he's there, but actually it's there for just the robots, not humans.
Okay.
It's the Robot Hall of Fame, not humans.
Okay. Now,
come on, Lenny.
I'm a little scared only in the fact that when I was looking up the out of the woodwork thing, all of a sudden now one of my offerings was from a chat AI. So I'm getting a little concerned here that, I can
tell you this. Chat
robots is getting there.
AIs, they may or may not write more news stories than you believe.
I would believe it, frighteningly enough.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I think newspapers are using a lot of them right now. All right. What's your next Hall of Fame?
My next Hall of Fame
we have time for two more.
Okay. I've got the Mascot Hall of Fame.
I saw that one.
The Mascot Hall of Fame.
It's in Indiana?
It is. It's like 20 minutes outside of Chicago. So anybody going to Chicago, you're going to Chicago.
I did see that one.
Swing by. It's like 25 minutes outside of downtown Chicago in what I want to say. It's in Whiting, Indiana.
Yeah.
Whiting, Indiana. It started in 2005 as an online Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah.
But in 2018 they went brick and mortar and built this building in what did I say? It was in Whiting, Indiana. Just outside of Chicago, 16 miles, as a matter of fact, from the Loop. And it's interesting because you know who started it? The Philly Fanatic.
Makes sense.
His name was Dave Raymond, and he was the Philly Fanatic, and he created this Hall of Fame. And it was for mascots, and it's pro mascots, college mascots, and there's one in there that I found interesting. And there's about 27, 28 members right about now. I'm very happy that Mr. Met is in there. But I find the interesting thing is you've got the San Diego Chicken, who is now the famous chicken because there was a lot of back and forth with that.
I was about to ask your favorite mascot of all time.
It's got to be Mr. Met. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm a homer. Mr. Met.
What's wrong with you?
A lot. An absolute lot.
Mr. Met?
Mr. Met. I didn't need
join me on this.
I didn't need a furry green guy. I didn't need a grimace. I didn't need a
chicken. Is what brought it all to be.
Well, I do like that. Mr. Met never kicked a whole lot of dirt on on Earl Weaver, but the San Diego Chicken was kicking dirt on everybody.
Yeah, I mean Lasorda. I mean, and like who hates Mr. Met?
Nobody.
You got to be hated to be a good mascot.
I think
fanatic, Philly Fanatic with his four-wheeler. Actually, he had the tri-wheeler. Yeah. I saw him roll one time with it. I didn't think he lived, and he still lived. But I can tell you, San Diego Chicken to me is the guy. Blake, what's your favorite mascot?
I'll probably say Mr. Red.
Mr. Red. Wow, you two are in the same category. I'm a Reds fan, but Mr. Red, it's just a big baseball.
Yeah, well, ain't nobody beating Mr. Met on that one.
Because I like stuff better than I like Mr. Red.
But you know what's interesting? You know who's in the Mascot Hall of Fame? Uga. The bulldog from the University of Georgia.
We're on like the 9th one or 10th one now.
Oh, yeah. And
we're actually on number 11.
11? Okay.
And there you go. And there's one family that controls unfair, but owns Uga and has been let's go with protecting Uga for years.
All right. Best mascot story. Have you ever been involved with a mascot? All right. I have a mascot story. I was probably 13, 14 years old at the old Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. And this is before things were politically correct. they had a mascot called Chief Nakahoma.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
All right. Chief Nakahoma would bring out the game ball, and he would do a dance around the pitcher's mound. All right. And we were there probably mid-June, and this is when the Braves were okay. They had Dale Murphy and they had Bob Horner, but they weren't great yet. They weren't good yet. So you could buy a ticket for like $8.
Right.
All right. So my dad brought me and my best friend up at the time, Darren up at the time, and we decided to explore around the arena. You could walk anywhere in the arena. So we watched Chief Nakahoma, who did this dance, and then he sprinted out to the outfield. As we were walking around, he had just come off, and Chief Nakahoma sounded like he had emphysema. He had like a cigarette just smoking like crazy, and me and my friend Darren thought it was the funniest thing we'd ever seen in our life. But there's no way in hell you'd be able to do what they did in the early 80s right now with Chief Nakahoma.
Hence the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
And still not getting used to that one.
Yeah. I still call them the Indians.
Sure.
All right.
So,
but
but I still call the Redskins the Redskins. So I don't mean any offense by it in any way.
No, not at all. We've been patterned that way, and it's some things just have to age in.
All right. So last question for you guys. So back to the Mascot Hall of Fame. So there were 3 members of the original class in 2005: the Fanatic and the San Diego Chicken. Who was the third member?
Who was the third member?
Who was the third original member of the Mascot Hall of Fame?
You can't cheat.
Pro or college?
What's your answer, Dad?
Oh, is that a pro or college?
Pro.
So it's a pro.
You guys are not going to get this one.
We're never going to get this one?
We're not going to get it?
But you can guess.
I'm trying to remember because I looked through all of them. I'm just trying to remember who the third one would have been.
Is it in baseball?
Basketball.
It's basketball.
Oh, the gorilla from the gorilla from
Yep.
this.
So it's a gorilla.
Yeah.
Because he's impressive.
Yep.
So
he ain't Magilla, but he's big.
Guess what?
Go ahead.
We're at the end of our show.
Again?
Yeah, it happens.
We need
so
a longer
fast.
show, Troy. We need a longer show.
It happens so fast.
I don't know if they'll stick with us, but we can have fun.
And I wanted to get to the Stickball Hall of Fame.
I'm telling you, that's a good one.
The Stickball Hall of Fame. I can't believe I'm not in it.
Did you draw your box on the wall and behind you?
No, we actually had a box on top of a box.
Okay.
We didn't have walls, so
we
played in the street.
We would go graffiti the schoolyard.
We played in the street.
Yeah.
So we played in the street. So Stickball Hall of Fame. I can't believe I'm not in it. What Hall of Fame should you be in?
I would like to think the Restaurant Hall of Fame.
Restaurant Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm not bad for.
You're still crushing
a guy.
You're still crushing it with Kaisers.
I got skills, man. I'm waiting for when they do Top Chef geezers.
Geezers,
and then I can get in there.
Senior
absolutely.
Citizen Circuit.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. I want to say thank you to you guys. Appreciate you guys. If you would hit that share button. This is Bollox Talks and Tangents, and we'll be back next week.
It's a lot of fun. Come watch us.